What's happening, guys? I'm Bergs, that's Longy, and this is NRL Last Minute Madness, round 23. What's happening, guys? Bergs and Longy back at it again for another week of Last Minute Madness, where we go through the tips, the predictions via the TBC Live app that you can download in the description below. And we've got Longy on for some fantasy analysis as well, even though fantasy is kind of coming to a little bit of a relevancy end towards the end of this year, but a lot of people still joining in on your lives and love watching your stuff every week, mate. But unfortunately, didn't get that Titans tip last week. Unfortunately, didn't account for some Penrith trainer mischief. How you feeling?
Mate, I was on top of the world. The Titans won that game, and then the penalty trial wasn't called. The sin bin wasn't called, and the trainer wasn't called either. And my Titans were robbed. It was a great tip. I'm one of the great minds of rugby league, if I do say so. No, I'm talking smack now. But what I am going to say is, Dogs fans, chill out. All right, there's a few too many Dogs fans complaining about that hand gesture from the Tigers players. 90% are legends and like, yeah, that's funny. We're good with it. 10% making a big deal out of it. Don't do that. Like, if you use that card too often, we end up with Origin being sterile and lifeless, and we end up with Laurie Daly saying he doesn't hate Queensland. So let's all just enjoy the passion of the game. And for Dogs fans, get the Tigers next time. You're going to have plenty of chances to beat them.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd come into the office today with you relating a game on the weekend to Laurie Daly hating or not hating Queensland.
Just burns me, man. Laurie Daly, and
yeah,
Billy Slater. God,
I'm not his biggest fan either. But what I want to see come out of that is maybe a Tigers rivalry starts after this.
That's
with Galvin, there's plenty of emotion there. There's plenty of feeling between both teams, and I don't think
no. Let's run to the teacher. Let's. We need an official complaint. No.
Well, I don't think if the Tigers win that game, I don't know if Luai's going up to Galvin at the end of the game and having a nice little handshake, little cuddle as well.
Adam Dewey, though, what a game from him.
Best
half on the field.
Dewey. Big fan of Adam Dewey. But, guys, we'll get into not talking about the Tigers this week because they have the bye. But we will start with our first match, which is the Storm taking on the Broncos. Now, Broncos don't have a great record against the Storm. I think it's 1 out of their last 16 games, potentially. Their win coming in 2023, just a couple of years ago, when the Broncos made it all the way to the grand final. But this Storm side, I don't love them at the moment, especially in night games.
Yep.
Last week, they were a little bit lackluster. Kind of got away with one, if you ask me.
Agree.
I think the whistle favoured them once again, and they're probably going to have to hope for a little bit of this in this game as well. I really like this Broncos side, fresh off the back of a 60-point drubbing of the Rabbitohs.
Yeah, Parramatta completed at 68% to the Storm's 84%. So Para shot themselves in the foot quite a bit in this game. But 4 line breaks to 1. Parramatta won that game. Storm had 1 line break, and it was Kamikamitha strolling through. Para, they let one journeyman prop score every week, and he was the one. Outside of that, no line breaks. So their attack was left wanting without Jerome Hughes, even with Pappenhausen back. I'm with you. Storm are favourites here, about 60%. People are going with them, 40% on the Broncos. I'm one of the 40% here. I think they're going to beat them up through the middle. They get Payne Haas back as well. They're too classy on the edges. Without Jerome Hughes, it's taking a bit of time for Munster and Wishart to combine there. Munster's really having to play that dominant 7 role, and Wishart hasn't quite found his spark this year.
Yeah, I think Hughes is definitely a big loss for them. Like, that's just point blank. Their attack is a little stunted as a result as well. And I think Eli Katoa is a guy who is less potent in the run game. He's still a target as terms of kicking, and we saw that last week. But, yeah, I just don't know if the Storm can kind of get it going as much as a team like the Broncos who, on their day, if their attack clicks, it's the best in the competition. I want to make no bones about that. I think once the Broncos get everything in order, it all looks so perfect that you don't think any team can beat them. Is that going to happen in this game? Probably not, because the Storm are really good at making it a grindy, gritty affair. But I still think the Broncos just have more firepower at this point in time. And, they had a bounce-back game last week, but it was against the Rabbitohs. How much can you read into that?
Not at all.
Not at all. Yep. And I will be going with the Broncos, but I just want them to be able to click into gear and really charge towards this final series. If they get this statement win against the Storm, it'll put them back in the frame for me as premiership contenders.
Yeah. Look, we're the footy as well. It sort of nullifies a bit of the running game of some of those Storm players too. Big forward pack for the Broncos. I do have Munster 70-plus fantasy points, though.
Yep.
I think back against the wall, we see him dominating kicking and also making a few big attacking plays.
Yeah, I've seen these two teams not have great defense and some pretty decent attack this year, but in their recent matchups, there's been a lot of big points. So I've actually gone 55-plus points to be scored in this game.
Wow.
So I
Big
think
shout.
it's going to be a pretty wild one down at Amy Park. And moving on to our next game, we have the Knights taking on the Panthers. Now, I don't think we need to spend too much time talking about this game because the Panthers are probably just going to stroll through the Knights and get a pretty easy victory. You are not tipping the Knights. I don't even think I'm going to let you speak. Don't speak. Don't even say. The Knights better not come out of your mouth.
Look. The Panthers have some big outs this week. So the trainer is out. Casey Badger has also been suspended. So the help they got from off the field, 2 are now suspended from the win that they were carried to. They nearly lost to the Titans last week.
Yeah, I love that To'o's been named as well.
Yeah,
that just puts a sting in it.
He's fine. Don't worry about it. All good. The play's been cleared, is what I heard. But Isaiah Yo's out this week. So you got Isaiah Papali'i coming in at lock. He is the opposite kind of lock to Isaiah Yo. And we saw Penrith fall apart when Yo went off in the 53rd minute. Does that continue against Newcastle this week?
Well,
at 5 points, 16% of people are on it. I think that unless you are at the top of your league, you take a shot at this little pod tip. I'm going for 5 points. So if it was a 1 point tipping comp, I'm going the Panthers. But for 5 points, and to keep my streak alive of tipping against them, I'm going to go the Knights here, and I'm going to back Dane Gagai at 55 plus fantasy points to show that he's the better fullback in this one. I'm just out and out Panthers hating now, but I'm backing the Knights in. I reckon they get the upset.
Yeah,
I just kind of by the way, that I don't do our tipping videos. So anyone who's watching along, don't let me convince you.
Look, I knew coming here today that I was expecting a Knights tip from you anyways, and I've counteracted that by making a very silly prediction on the Knights' behalf. Jake Arthur to get 1 try assist.
I just forgot that Jake Arthur's playing for them. Oh, can I change? Can I swap?
Jake Arthur.
I've already locked
He's going to be out there playing for the Knights.
It's Arthur and Cogger.
It's Arthur and Cogger.
Hastings is kind of part of my prediction there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, look, I can't change now, but if I could, I would. Now, Raiders v Seagulls up next, and we're ripping into Friday night here. Seagulls only getting 19% of tips. The Raiders getting 81%. I think it's a little bit uneven. And I've been saying for a while now that Canberra have been scraping by against bottom 5 teams. They've had a really easy run of fixtures recently. It's going to catch up to them if they don't start playing some good footy. What we saw last week was them getting absolutely eviscerated by the Dragons. They now come up against the Seagulls, who's
eviscerated by 6 points.
Yeah. Look, if you lose to the Dragons, you've been destroyed. That's how it works. Seagulls are in the same tier as the Dragons, I think. You know, one of those teams that can have a big day on their day, but often are a bit fragile. And I just look at this and I go, 5 points again. The Canberra Faders, are they on the return? Like, Canberra's the better side, 100%. And again, 1-1, I'd take Canberra. But for a 5-pointer, I mean, if they had Ola Kawatu in there, I'd 100% be on this. But Turbo back to fullback, is that good?
No, I don't know.
I would want Kohler back to fullback.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're jumping around that. Like, Kohler at fullback's there.
This whole Manly season has been a big case of I don't know, or they don't know what they're doing. Like, I kind of get the move of Tom Trbojevic back to fullback because he's not a centre.
I liked him at centre, man.
Yeah,
roaming centre, he was killing it.
Yeah,
he was fantastic.
You know, the interjections sometimes into the game, but Kohler's also good at doing that. You know, Kohler's been a bit of a roaming centre. They have a nice play where they set up right.
Their problem wasn't Turbo, though, man. Their problem was Lehigh Hopewadi. I like him a lot, but he was not offering anything in attack. And Luke Brooks has been absolutely dreadful.
He's been terrible this year.
He's been disgustingly bad.
He's not been good.
And
the thing is, both their halves have been great.
He was a lot of fun last year. Cherry Evans hasn't been great either. But Brooks and Lehigh are not offering attack. That's why they've gone Turbo back to fullback, because they want that spark. I think Cole was that guy. I think Cole was the guy 100%.
Unfortunately, I just don't think Manly are that team. Yeah, and the Raiders have been, and they've shown me this year that they can be that team. And that's all I've really got to go off. I mean, I think the Raiders last week, they let one slip. I think it was their 9 in a row. Like, it's very hard to keep a streak. Streaks to come to an end. I actually tipped the Dragons in a different comp as well. So didn't fully back them on the channel, but, you know, it really helped me out in another comp.
You get no points for that.
I know. I don't really get any credit for it, unfortunately, publicly. But I get credit for the Tiger tip, and that's what we're here for. Yeah. Taking credit for things that we definitely did. Yeah, I just think the Raiders win this game. Even though the Manly Seagulls have actually won their last 2 games at GIO Stadium, I just think the Raiders get up here, and I think Strange is actually going to have a field day. He's going up against DCE, who, again, not played his best football this year. It's getting to the point where people are asking the question, is DCE going to improve the Roosters? Like, that's how bad his play has gotten, where we shouldn't even be asking that question. And without Ola Kawatu, I see them as this lifeless husk.
Yeah,
you know, that they can't really offer too much.
Yeah, Ola Kawatu, Paseka for a long time now as well. it's rough. I've got Joey Tarpanay 60+ fantasy points again. I think he has another big day out. I do think Canberra make a statement. So as much as I'm tempted to go Manly, I'll go Canberra and I'll back Joey Tarpanay.
Yeah, fair enough. Next up, we got the local derby down the south with the Dragons taking on the Sharks. Now, I thought the Dragons were inspired last week. I loved the fact that they got a big win over the premiership leaders at this point in time. And the Sharks, well, they beat up a hapless Cowboys side. So you can't really read into that.
What did they do
win
when they
too
got
much.
to a lead? Did they keep the
Did
foot down or
No,
did they yet again?
They did not. You know what? Cowboys won the second half.
Yeah.
We won the second half 12-6. And Jai from Blindside can suck my... no.
I'm with you, though. I'm with you. Like, the Sharks, they used to be one of my favorite teams to watch because they come out...
You said this last week.
I'm saying it again. They used to be so fun to watch, and they are so boring now. And they play footy like a team who's afraid to fail, and they play footy like a team who doesn't like footy. And I remember when Parramatta was sort of falling off, that started to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling it from Cronulla right now as well. Like, there's not a lot of passion in them, right? And Kale Iro sort of is that guy for them. Like,
which is
he
bizarre
plays like that
because he's been in the team for 2 years.
We're not seeing like when I think of Cronulla playing well, I'm thinking of Britton Nakora, running nice lines and breaking it open. He hasn't done that this year. I'm thinking of Jesse Ramian fending guys in the face. I haven't seen that this year. Mulatalo's coming back into a bit of form, but Will Kennedy, he looks lost. Trindle and Hines, it's a bit hit and miss.
It's Blake Brayley or nothing. Like at this point in time, like if Blake Brayley was out of the team, I'd consider tipping the Dragons. Like that. That's how impactful he's become, and he's actually part of my big prediction this week. I've got him to get 2 more try assists.
Wow!
Just because
he's playing
last
good,
week he did it last week, but I just don't see any creativity outside of him right now. And with the Dragons, they're one of those teams who can just turn up and win, couldn't they? Like they could win this game. It's not that hard.
They're at home. Yeah, it's a good rivalry as well. These teams fire up.
Sharks have a pretty good record against the Dragons, unfortunately. It's probably why I'm going to go with the Sharks, but I'm not excited about it.
Yeah, I'm going Sharks. I'm going Nico Hines 60+. More hope than anything, really. I just want him to start clicking for fantasy.
Yeah, it's just a big kind of nothing game in my opinion. I don't really like watching either team. Maybe a shot at both teams there, but anyway. Next game up is the Dolphins taking on the Roosters, and this is a huge game for the Dolphins. Maybe to prove that they can win games without their best player. Let's be honest, Herbie Farnworth is their best player. A lot of people like to say it's the hammer, or Isaiah Katoa has been great this year. Herbie Farnworth is the centerpiece of that team for me, and he's out to the end of the season. I just see this as the starting point of where the Dolphins just missed the 8. And I think this Roosters side are coming for that spot. It's a great matchup. It's 8th versus 9th. So the Roosters can get 2 points closer and steal this spot. I want the Dolphins to win so bad, but I just can't tip them in this game. And they've got a tough run coming up. They got the Storm, they got the Broncos, they got the Raiders in the last round of the regular season. Like it's dicey for them right now.
Yeah, a lot of forwards missing for them as well. Like you look back over a longer period, you got Max Plath, Dan Safidi, Tom Gilbert, Tom Flegler, name you haven't heard for a while.
Yep.
Then you have Bostock and Herbie on that edge as well. And I think the play of Herbie was allowing them to supplement for the fact that their forward pack is so under strength. And I think it was making them look better than they are. And I think without his 150 to 200 meters a game, they're really going to feel that. Yeah, he was getting them out of trouble a lot, making a lot of breaks. Like last week, he had 2 line breaks in 18 minutes.
I was going to say, what was his fantasy score?
45.
He went off in the 20th minute.
Yeah, 45 and 18 was his official line. So I just think he's the biggest hole in the world. And it's crazy to say because Stephen Crichton's done everything. But Herbie's the best center in the comp.
I love Herbie a lot, and I'd have to agree with you in saying
Crichton's so clutch, though.
Yeah, the clutch gene is something that you can't really train people.
Yeah,
it's weird. Like Crichton is a better real life, I would say, guy to watch. Like in terms of the accolades that he's had and the big moments that he's had. I just don't know if Herbie's had the opportunity to get those moments, so he doesn't get.
But Crichton's had them to such an exceptional level.
Yeah.
Like it's
he's scored in every grand final he's played in.
Yeah.
He's had big moments in Origin games.
Like regular season, Herbie is by far better than Crichton. But finals, no one can argue. Like Crichton's the best player in the comp if you only look at clutch, right? But regular season, I've got Herbie. And for me, I sort of have a bias towards the lower.
And because Herbie plays for England, you don't get to see him in that Origin arena.
He dominates for England too. Like he's had big games for them.
Absolutely.
With him out, though, I've got the Roosters winning. I think the Dolphins fall apart without Herbie Farnworth. And if you're a Dolphins fan, you might be hearing this thinking, yeah, everyone doubts us all the time. And I've doubted them at times as well.
Yeah.
But I'm doubting again. And I'm going Mark Nwani Tuase to go 75+ in fantasy after 3 consecutive weeks under 40. Because that edge is going to be fragile. You've got Tafita, Nafua, and you've got
tough.
Who's the other? Is it Averillo on that wing? I think
Yeah, it's
Tempe
Averillo on the wing.
Averillo's playing well, but like, do those two lock up?
Fiona at the other center.
Can they lock up Rob Toya and Mark Nwani Tuase? My answer is no. I think they feast, and it's a rough finish for the Dolphins, who are building in the right direction and have Isaiah Couture on the best contract in the league, by the way. I think it's $650 a K for the next 4 years. So they're building in the right direction.
It's nice.
They're under strength right now. They've had a great season regardless of how it goes. They're still a shot at the finals, but I got the Roosters here.
Yeah, I'm on the Roosters as well, but I think the Dolphins will be in a bit of trouble. So I've got Isaiah Couture kicking a 40-20 this week. Doesn't happen often, but hopefully it does for me this week. Next one, Dogs versus Warriors. I'm kind of inclined to tip the Dogs here just purely based on the fact that they lost last week and they'll be wanting a bit of a bounce back. But if there is any rain around, we know what the Dogs are like. The Warriors
terrible in the rain. What's that about? Like against the Broncos?
I don't get it.
Early in the year against the Tigers.
I really don't get it.
Yeah.
Like it almost seems like they would have a purpose-built team for the rain.
I mean, they're a swarming, smaller forward pack, right?
I mean,
so maybe the movement helps them. Like,
well, they're they're also extremely fit and love putting pressure on teams in their 20. But that would like play into the rain aspect as well. If teams aren't going to be pushing the ball too much in their own end because of the risk of dropping the ball. I don't understand why it's become this big thing, but I love that it has because it's become like their kryptonite. Yeah. Warriors, though, on the other hand, they've been limping a little bit the last few weeks. Almost lost to the Knights, lost to the Titans, lost again on the bell last week. I think they've held on in those situations earlier on in the season, but maybe we're starting to see a little bit of fatigue coming in. Yep. They're not finishing off the games that they would like in the way that they would like to. So, unfortunately, I've got to go with the Dogs in this game, and Galvin will probably be out. Is that what we're hearing?
Getting injected.
Playing? Okay.
Getting those painkillers.
Interesting. Yeah. Toby Sexton's right there, ready to go. I don't know whether you'd want to risk
it for the future, mate.
Locking Galvin for a big finals run coming up. Yeah, they're going to make the finals, so
I don't know a big finals
risking him.
Yeah, okay. Look, Fisher Harris on the extended bench is interesting.
Encouraging.
Does he play or not? I think that in the rain in particular, I think that's very important because, like we said, the Dogs are a bit undersized. If you rock up with Jackson Ford at the prop spot, nothing against Ford, but he's not Mitch Barnett and Fisher Harris, right? And with their full team here, I would say the Warriors win 100% in the wet weather.
Oh, yeah.
But even now,
Barnett,
I'm still backing them. Really? I think they get it done. I just think, it's a tough one, but the Dogs just are so disjointed right now. And I was tipping the Dogs a lot earlier in the year, but I haven't seen any evidence that they've kind of figured it out. And they were feeble last week. They were totally feeble. They're coming to this game with Galvin carrying injury and, Karaz at fullback, but they're kind of playing Crichton at fullback and they haven't given Karaz the full fullback role. I don't love that. I think just give him the job. Or give Crichton the job. Like, what is this half-half stuff?
Look, the problem is I don't love Karaz's ball play ability.
Then make him a center and play Crichton a fullback. Like, this half and half thing has never, ever worked for anyone ever. But, it'll work for us. No, it won't. Yeah. No, it won't.
It's like watching Des try to put two fullbacks in the halves. It just doesn't work. To
be fair, they have to cram those guys in. Yeah. I've got Galvin under 35 fantasy points, and I'm an owner in fantasy.
Yeah, I know.
I just think with the injections and the wet weather potentially, I'm not very hopeful for this one.
Yeah, this Warriors forward pack of savages. They're young, but they're savages. Halasima, Dietrich Valmunga. I love Dimitri Valmunga as well.
Valmunga's been hot lately.
Yeah, and you're right. If they do get Fisher Harris back into this pack, I think anything. It's possible this week.
Karaz had two. Sam Healy last week.
Yeah, he's good. He looks good. Yeah.
Like
kind of makes Wade Egan look a little bit stupid considering the way he's been playing the last 10 weeks or so.
He started so well, Egan, but Healy came in. He was an upgrade.
Yeah, I know.
Which is crazy.
Which is bizarre.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've got the Dogs winning by 16 plus. If I'm banking that on it not being a wet weather game. If there's a bit of wet weather around, that could definitely change. And maybe my tip might change as well.
Sunday footy here. Titans v Rabbits, then Eels v Cowboys. Couple of bona fide top of the table
Spoon
battles.
bowl? Yeah. Spoon bowl?
Spoon bowls. Multiple. I've actually got a bet on the Cowboys to win the spoon.
You did. Yeah, I remember you.
But you fluked a few wins early.
Yeah.
That really
kind of saved us a bit. Plus, we also have that draw, which puts us 1 point ahead of everyone.
You were such a good outsider pick. But luckily, I have a few bets on you guys under 11 and a half wins and all that, which
I think I stupidly have a bet with a Broncos fan about us finishing higher on the table than
you cooked
them. Yeah.
But look, Titans v Rabbitohs first. Potential for Latrell to return in this one. I am tipping under the assumption Latrell plays, and it's no guarantee whatsoever. Latrell plays, I'm backing him, and I'm backing the Bunnies. I think the Titans, as much as they've been absolutely fantastic last 2 weeks, that was a heartbreaker last week.
Emotional.
Yeah, and I think they haven't been a team who's shown that they can bounce back from that kind of thing. So
Mm.
I'm backing South Sydney's reserve grade side plus Latrell Mitchell
Yep.
to rock up, even though Ewan Aitken's now in doubt as well. Like it's a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
I'm going Trell Mitt 60 plus points here. I just think the outsider at 3.5 points compared to the Titans 1.4. I can't back the Titans at 1.4.
Not at
They're
all.
just not
No.
reliable enough.
I'm totally with you, and I did this on Monday as well for my tipping video. Again, I'm backing on Troll Mitchell coming back in. He needs to play, in my opinion.
Can I confirm if he doesn't play, you're swapping across to the Titans?
Yeah, I'll probably be
Yeah.
on the Titans. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I do like a few of the players they've gotten back. Brandon Smith's back. Mamuzelis is back into the team. I think Humphreys helps as well, considering he's been there all year.
Ward was
But
solid
what I
last
don't
week
like
too.
is
I
the
thought he tried.
Alofi Khan Pereira against Bailey Bentley Harpy this week. I think Khan Pereira scoring a double, but the Rabbitohs still win.
Yeah, AKP's a gun. I love him too. I don't know why he's not in first grade all the time, but hey, Titans doing Titans things. Now, Eels v Cowboys, and
we'll end the video right there.
Yeah.
And
if you've heard me slandering other teams here, just know that I slander Parramatta just as much. Now, if you're a bottom side, you're going to cop a bit of roasting, but Parramatta have been okay lately. So beat the Broncos a couple weeks ago, took it to the Storm, lost by 6 in that game. Storm only had 1 line break in that whole game, which is pretty impressive. A couple of tries off kicks. Xavier Coates outjumped Lomax, and I believe it was Cattell for the other one. In this game here, Parramatta are big favourites. 66% on Parramatta, 33% on the Cowboys. Hard one to back up. I mean, it's in Parramatta. That helps. But I'll go to you first because Cowboys have been
abysmal,
feeble lately.
Yep.
Are you backing your team?
It might be the worst defensive Cowboys team I've ever seen. And that's not.
And even then, Cronulla couldn't run it up.
In like 25 years of watching this team. Yep. Like I just find it so pathetic. Like the way we're defending, we're not sticking to any tackles. It's almost like we don't care. I think we need a turnaround. Like we need a change, and unfortunately, I think that is going to come at the expense of Todd Payten leaving the club because we're trying to be a win now team when we don't have a win now team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're trying to win games to save jobs, and that's not necessarily conducive for what we want the club to be 3 to 4 years down the track. And decisions are being made at higher levels above my pay grade that don't really they don't push the club forward in the right direction, in my opinion. And this is one of them. Bringing Jay Clifford back into the team. Like, why? Like, why are we doing this? Like, again, Jamal Shibasaki, who was actually good off the bench last week. I really like what I saw from Jamal Shibasaki. Yep. He's been pushed back to reserves. Anali Bittengani's kept his spot, but he played for like 20 minutes last week.
Yeah.
How much are we going to see of these guys before he gives them like a proper shot? You know, we're playing Harrison Edwards in the front row again this week. What is that? He's a hooker. It's just stupid, and I don't want to support stupidity. So I'll be getting on the Eels this week pretty heavily.
Yeah, and you look at Parramatta, they're all in on.
They're doing all the things that I want the Cowboys to do.
Yeah, they're going, you know what? We're not that great this year.
Yep.
We're going to lose some games as a result of this. We've got Dylan Brown sitting in reserve grade right now.
Yep.
Potential, maybe Dylan Brown slips into center, something like that.
It'd probably be stronger for your team. Yeah.
It'd be better for win now, but Parramatta's all about building for the future right now. So, yeah, I like their mentality a lot more too, and they've been tough. I don't know if we deserve to be favourites, though. That's why I'm looking at this. And my big prediction is Zach Lomax, 60 plus fantasy points. 60 plus for Lomax. I think he feasts against, he's against Laybut.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, Laybut onto the wing again.
Can Laybut catch bombs? I can't imagine.
The signings that we've made and the players we're bringing back in, like Jason Tamalolo comes back in, but how long has he been out for? Like, and when are we going to get him off the roster? Like, I just think I maybe need to do a bit of a breakdown. Just pure video on the Cowboys and what I want to see moving forward because maybe that's what people
you're not backing the Cowboys.
Guys, if you want to see that video from me, let me know.
People do. Yeah. I think Drinky is going to be hard to stop. I think Dearden's going to be hard to stop. I personally don't know if we have answers to their running game. Because when teams, and this is the thing that Melbourne didn't really do that well last week, when playmakers test us running the ball to the line with the back rower next to them, like a Nanai, for example, we're not really answering that test super well. But what happens is teams are rocking up against Parramatta and they're thinking, oh, yeah, we're going to win easy. And we're not just going to
don't give it to them.
Throw away the win. But I don't think we can stop Tom Dearden. Wow. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a bit of a shootout and it's going to come down to
support each other's teams.
Well, I'm back in Parramatta.
Okay.
I really don't think we're going to have an answer for Dearden. I think Dearden's going to feast.
All right.
I think Drinky's going to have a big day as well. So I'm a little worried about this game. I think you're writing off the Cowboys too soon. And if I wasn't a Para fan, I'm probably on the Cowboys.
I think I'm more in the incline to just think, this season's done. Like that's where my head is, and that's why I'm going into every game with not much hope, and being surprised when we actually win, if we do win.
Yep.
So, anyway, guys, those are our tips and predictions this week. Let us know what you think about them down in the comment section below. Make sure that you join us next week and hit that subscribe button for all of our latest content. I'm Bergs. That's Longy, and we'll catch you next week.